Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 10 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day, safe day. Let's make it a great night, folks. Learn to ask questions. It's always better to ask questions than to make an assumption. Have the courage to ask questions until you are clear as you can be. Others have the right to answer your question, and you, sorry about this, folks, let me get this. Have the courage to ask questions until you're as clear as you can be. Once you hear the answer to the question, you won't have to make the assumption because you'll know the truth. That's if they tell you the truth. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow Industrials down 178. NASDAQ off 15, S&P's down 7. Gold contract flat, $12.91.30 an ounce. Silver up 4 cents, $16.56 an ounce. Copper up 2.5 pennies at $3.12 a pound. Light sweet crude flat, $72.13. We're going to get the API numbers at 4:30 this afternoon. We'll see where those shake out. Oil still looks like it wants to run up to the $75 level. Notes and bonds, the 10-year note up 1, 30-year bond up 1. Right now, the 10's at 118.28. 30 is at 141.10. The 30, as well as the 10, they look like they're both trying to get inside their higher range. The 30 is right next to it. The 30 will be 141.14. King dollar down 96 ticks, trading 93.480. Now let's go look at King dollar because the battle is on for King dollar in a huge way, and the battle is over this 93.480 number. 93.480 was the high of December 12th. We had taken that out last Friday. We got to a higher high yesterday. We gave it up on volume and price yesterday. Bottom line is that now we have, after this prolonged trend topside, you get a tri-star doji. What that is, folks, is that you have 3 separate days that you basically trade right in the middle of the range. You get a high, you get a low, and you stay in the middle of the range. Pretty amazing. So we'll see where that shakes out. That is a bearish implication inside candlestick charting. The euro out here is trading at a price point of 117.81 to $1 US. The yen is at 110.88 to $1 US. We get over and we take a look at the S&Ps first. The SPY, what you're going to see inside the SPY is this. SPY right now got to a price point today of $274.25. That got over the high of last week, which was the 14th. It closed at 272.6. That's a failure from the swing point that was going into. We did 49 million versus 54. If we actually take a look at the future, what you're going to see there is more of a failure. Now the future, well, actually it didn't do it. Let's see. No, it didn't do it. Okay, so the future did the same thing. The future got into the high of the 14th, couldn't handle that high, back down. Now the future would have to get below 27.18 for a real bearish situation. That number, that's the 18th of April's high. Dow Industrials did do that. The Dow Industrials, bottom line, that closed out under the 17th high. That's 24,858. We closed at 24,834. Now, this is pretty wild, folks. You got to hear this story because this is what the reason I'm telling the story is twofold. Just in the aspect of how these communities basically act, how money managers that are inside these communities act, and what does happen at tops in the market. And we'll see if this is the top. So we know that we have lots of communities, folks, that have unfunded pension liabilities. Now, as a company, bottom line, is a lot harder to get an unfunded pension liability. Some of our largest corporations have it in a huge way, but you better have lots of money to pay for lots of lobbyists so that they basically stay away from you to do it. What this story is about is this, is that you have Tulare County. It's a rural county in California. Now picture this. They have 464,000 residents. They basically selling 251 million in bonds. So when you start putting these numbers together, it's just a mind blower, actually. So they're selling that in bonds, and they're doing that because they have an underfunded liability for all their pensions. Okay, that's one county. You have Milan, which is in Illinois, which is really, Illinois is in really tough shape. And they have a $1 billion underfunded pension. Okay, I want to stay with the one in California just for a second, okay? So, what are they going to do with this? Well, guess what? They, in their prospectus, this is what they say. In their prospectus, in their initial offering of documents, they say that this, they're going to put this in a retirement plan in order to help pay down their unfunded liability. Now, their unfunded liability is $344 million. Picture this for a second, okay? You're talking about monster numbers. So they get an unfunded liability of $344 million. They only have, in the whole county, 464,000 residents. So you can imagine the pensions in these people. But check this out. This is what the story's about. They're going to take the $251 million in cash. They're going to put it into their retirement, right? They're still going to be short $150 million, but guess what, folks? You know where it's going? It's all going in the marketplace. And they're claiming that that's how they're going to basically bail out. It's like, really? Yeah. Okay. So it's a heads up in a huge way. And it's pretty amazing that these counties have got away with it for so long. And bottom line is that they have. The guaranteed pension, that one of the tigers is sign of a top. That's why I did bring it up, actually. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, you got to be kidding me. Like, think about this for a second, okay? You're in the hole. This would be like all of us, that you're in the hole in a huge way, right? So you're underwater in a huge way. Now picture this, though. None of us would be able to go to the marketplace and just say, unsecured, hey, listen, give me $200 million. But the bottom line is that that's what they can do. And they'll sell it, put it in the market, go down the tubes. Pretty wild. Stay right there, folks. We got our man, Mr. Andy Heck, coming up next, growling a problem with us. Dow finished down 178, NASDAQ off 15, S&P's off 7. Come right back.